Today we're looking at the palm stick. I got two examples here, one a bit thicker, one thinner. They're both similar in the fact that they're blunt trauma tools. You can also use them for certain points of leverage. They're smooth. They're fairly smooth pieces of rattan on both ends. Both have a hole in the center. Each have a piece of paracord put through it for a bit more leverage and strength. If I grab this stick here or over, doesn't really matter, and I stab, I use my hand for a moment, there's nothing to stop it. If this were an edge, this is not an edge tool, but if we're an edge tool, my hand would be completely cut. This is why most better knives have some type of guard at the end and a lot of the ring at one side to give you a better grip from stopping, that you slide all the way down the knife if you drive it forward, if you don't pierce. Slashing is pretty same. If I hit anything with any solidness, it's not going to be a great hold for my hand. These, if I put it through the pinky here, same amount of force to my hand, it stops. This one's contingent on what grip I use. I can put it between the hands. I feel it's a bit more secure here, between the fingers, right center. Or the pointer finger here, the jab, pulling, scraping, getting different points of leverage can happen here. This is a solid Amazon box. Here, if I put it between the two fingers, cuts right through. That's just force, blunt force trauma. This goes with a lot of force and can go into optics. My grip hasn't changed. This is what we're looking for. If I reinforce my thumb back here, this puncture is a lot stronger, and that's what we're looking at. So everything else with the palm stick, it folds into just going for the smaller one now. Depending, this really works well with a lot of locking and unlocking. I would want to use this to trap and pull, trap and push, right? That's what we're looking at when we get into this tool. All right, useful tool. We can adapt this to other things, but the important feature here with this is the size of it. It's fairly easy to conceal. And more importantly, as far as I'm concerned, the hole in the center with the paracord through, this gives you not a ton of support, but just enough to reinforce that. This is what makes this really a useful tool. All right. Everything else, particularly for the way that we train under the Dosa Progresses camp and with personal protection training, this can fit in there as long as you make sure to understand the value of this one and the attributes of the tool. It doesn't have an edge, doesn't have a point. It's a solid tool. It's a blunt trauma instrument. All right. So if you purchase one or adapt, this is where we lose something in the pen, because a pen, theoretically you can do a lot of things with. This is why we focus so much more on this position, because we have something to reinforce stabbing or even slashing with this pen, with the thumb behind. If my thumb isn't here and I try to drive forward, my grip's not good. Even if my grip is really strong, it's still going to slide down the pen, because it doesn't have anything in the center stopping where my hand can reinforce and get stuck and slide there. Whereas this is where, like I said, for me, the thing you want to be most concerned with is something there. This reinforces the grip. This stops you from sliding down. So if you do pick up one, good tool. Remember, this is the essential part. Yes, the ends where you strike, or the flats here. This is what gives you grip and support.